Disclaimer: this is a true story, happened to me in high school. It was my senior year of high school. I had finally made some good friends and used to clog up my parents' landline and just stand outside on the phone talking away. We had a ranch-style house with a fairly long driveway, and across the street from my house, and the whole block, was one giant field. There was a mansion that a local doctor owned far back in the field, just trying to paint a picture of what everything looked like, but more or less if you stood on the driveway to my house looking across the street, there was nothing but empty field as far as you can see. At the end of the driveway was our mailbox, which stood next to the only street light on the block. One night, I was standing at the end of my driveway talking on the phone to a friend, and my mother kept popping her head out the front door complaining for me to get off the phone and come inside, as it was late. Me being a teenager, I gave her the "give me 5 minutes" line multiple times, and kept talking. I remember complaining about her to my friend, how she was annoying me, etc. etc. At some point, I started hearing my name being called again, only this time, it was more of a loud whisper, like when you are quietly trying to get someone's attention. I distinctly remember saying to my friend something along the lines of "Oh my God, she's yelling at me again," and kept talking. A few moments later, I heard my name being called again. Ignored it, kept talking. Again a few moments later, and also heard "come over here." I turn around, and realize the front door is closed. I know I thought it was odd, but not enough that it really registered, so I said bye to my friend and headed inside. I get inside and my parents had just gotten in bed. I complained to my mom that she didn't have to keep yelling at me, she could have just allowed me to finish my call, etc. To which she responded that she hadn't stuck her head outside in like an hour. Cut 2 hours later, it was around 2 a.m., and I was in my room watching Evil Dead, big horror fan here, and I got up and headed to the kitchen to make some ramen. My mom, who had heard me in the kitchen, yelled at from the bedroom to make sure the front door was locked before I went to bed. I walked out of the kitchen and headed to the front door, making sure it was locked. The front door was one of those that had an oval of frosted glass in the center, so that you could look through it clearly in tiny sections. Others were frosted so you couldn't. Anyway, I did what I normally did and looked through one of the tiny clear sections and habitually looked at the street lamp at the end of the driveway. Kind of like when you go to close the blinds, you habitually look outside as you do so. However, I couldn't see the street lamp. For a split second I thought maybe the light had went out. Until whomever was standing on the other side of the glass moved to the side. I fucking hightailed it to my parents' room, waking my dad and telling him what had happened. He got out of bed with my mom, grabbed a bat and went outside to check. They didn't find anything, had turned on all the lights, nothing. Creeped out, I go to bed. Next morning, I wake up and head to my car for school. The driver's side door was slightly ajar, figured I had just ironically left it open or something the night before, and just got in and went to school. School ends, I get home to find a police car in my driveway. Apparently, someone had broken into our garage overnight and stole all my dad's tools and anything else of worth. Not only that, the person had robbed several other homes on our block over the course of the past week. Scary as shit to realize that whomever it was literally hiding somewhere around my house, baiting me while I was on the phone, and then hours later was still outside looking in through the front door. It's been 10 years and I'm still shook.